Hello everyone, welcome to the next session on percentages. In this session, we'll talk about installments now. We have already studied simple interest and compound interest, so we'll see how installments use simple interest and compound interest. And obviously, this is one area which can be again used in your real life. Though, if I talk about the CAT exam, they have not asked many questions on installments because calculations are slightly lengthy. So, whatever questions they have asked, they are very easy based upon simple calculations. So let's start with the concept of it, and that is installments. So installments may what is all important. So first of all, we'll talk about two things. There are two important aspects that we need to understand. So the first among them is future value, and the second is present value, because all installments is based upon future value and present value only. Future value and present value, these are the two important. So what are future value and present value? So keep this in mind. Normally installments would be based upon compound interest unless and until stated in the question. So what is future value? Let us say in 2020 we have some money of say 10,000 rupees and the rate is, let's say, 10%. How much the money would become in 2021 at the rate of 10%? You will say 10,000 into 1.1, that is 11,000 rupees. How much the money would become in 2022? You will set this again into 1.1, that is 12,100 rupees. And similarly in 2023 it will become 13,310. So these all are called the future value of 10,000 after 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, so on and so forth. So you can say that future value of a money P after n years is nothing but P into 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power n. P into 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power n. And when I talk about the present value, so you can say that present value of P into 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power n, present value of P into 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power n years before, this is equal to P. So basically, if for this 10,000, this 12,100 is the future value after 2 years. So for that 12,100, this 10,000 is the present values 2 years ago. So how do you get the future value? By multiplying by 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power n. How do you get the present value? By dividing, right? If you divide it by 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power n, you get the present value. I'm taking an example. If I ask you what is the future value of 25,000 rupees after 3 years at the rate of 20% per annum, you will say 25,000 into 1 plus 20 by 100 raised to the power 3. This is called the future. And if I ask you this question, what is the present value of 25,000 rupees 3 years ago? So basically I am trying to say that after 3 years a money becomes 25,000. So what is the present value of that money today? I would say it is 25,000 divided by 1 plus 20 by 100 raised to the power 3. To get the present value, we divide by 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power n. To get the future value, we multiply by 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power n. This is about the future value and present. Now, what is the use of this in installments? Let us talk about that now. Suppose I have taken, I'll take a question of CAT itself. CAT has only asked one question on installments. It's a very simple question. So let's talk about that. The question was rupees 2,10,000 rupees are to be paid in two annual installments at the rate of 10% per annum. So what are the installments? So what are the installments? So how do we solve these questions on installments? The simple funda is that suppose the installment is equal to I. That means, let's say if I've taken the loan of 2,10,000 in 2020, so I would be paying I rupees in 2021, and I would be paying I rupees in 2022 because I have to pay 2 annual installments. If the rate is 10%, so what is the present value of this 2021 present value in 2020? So you know present value we get by dividing. So it will be I divided by 1 plus 10 by 100. And what is the present value of this money in 2020? I would again say I divided by 1 plus 10 by 100 ka square. So whatever money I am going to pay in 2021 and 22, their present values are I upon 1.1 plus I upon 1.1 ka square, and this present value should be equal to 2,10,000, because if I have to pay today, I have to pay 2,10,000. Whatever money I am going to pay in the coming years, all that money today should be equal to my debt, whatever money I have taken. So just solve it. The denominator would be 1.21. In numerator, you will have 1.1 plus I is equal to 2,10,000. So this gives me the value of I as 1,21,000 rupees, which is my answer. That means an installment of 1,21,000 rupees will discharge a debt of 2,10,000 rupees in 2 years if the rate is being charged at 10% per annum. So even if the installments are, let's say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so we always use this only. For every installment, we calculate the present value, and after calculating that present value, we put all the present values equal to the current money that has to be paid, and from there we calculate the value of the installment. Okay, let us discuss a question on this now. Pause the video here, take some time to answer this question, and then look at the solution after that. Okay, pause it now. So let's start discussing the question now. So a man borrows rupees 6,000 at 5% interest on reducing balance. At the start of the year, if he repays rupees 1,200 at the end of each year, find the amount of loan outstanding in rupees at the beginning of the third year. So he borrows 6,000 rupees initially. The rate is given as 5%, and he has purchased it on reducing balance. At the start of the year, he repays 1,200, which is more of an installment. At the end of each year, find the amount of loan outstanding at the beginning of third year. Can I say beginning of third year is as good as the end of second year? I mean, the only difference between the two is you can say that 1,200 is paid at the end of the year. Question is asking you about the beginning of the third year. So basically is asking you what is the amount outstanding after paying 1,200 at the end of second year. So this is what we have to do. Let's figure out. So the first installment that he pays is of 1,200 rupees, but he has to pay an interest of 5% on 6,000 rupees. So what is the interest amount? The interest amount is 300, but the person has paid 1,200. So that means the remaining amount, which is 900, will be subtracted from 6,000, and now the outstanding principal will be equal to 6,000 minus 900 is equal to 5,100. So at the end of 1 year, 5,100 rupees is still remaining. 1,200 में से 300 rupees is the interest, and the remaining amount is subtracted from the outstanding principal. Okay, now let's talk about second year. The guy again pays 1,200 at the end of the year, but still he has to pay some interest. How much is the interest? Now he'll have to pay interest on this 5,100. At the rate of 5%, he need to pay 255 rupees as an interest on this. So the remaining amount, that is 1200 minus 255 is 945 rupees. This 945 will be reduced from the original principal, the outstanding principal after the first year. So now the outstanding principal is 5100 minus 945, that is 4155 rupees. So this is the amount outstanding at the end of second year. Amount outstanding at the end of second year. So this is also should be the amount outstanding at the beginning of third year. So at the beginning of third year, it is 4155. That should be the correct answer. And this is exactly how installments operate. Every month, the interest is subtracted from your EMI and the remaining amount is subtracted from your outstanding principal. And that way, your outstanding principal keeps reducing. The way you see 5100 reduced here. And because of that, the next month's interest is also less. When the interest is less, so again the principal reduces, and next month again the principal would be less, and this is how it goes on. I hope you understood this concept. So let's discuss another question on the same concept. Pause the video here, take some time to answer this question, and then look at the solution after that. Okay, pause it now. So let's start discussing the question now. So the question is, Sanjeev wants to purchase an LED TV which is available at the MRP of 50,000. He has an option of paying the remaining amount in 3 equal annual installments at 25% per annum after paying a down payment of 1200. That means the remaining 48,800 he can pay through installments. Find his annual installment. Okay. The rate is given to us as 25% per annum. So he'll be giving I rupees at the end of first year, I rupees at the end of second year, and I rupees at the end of third year. And as we discussed before, we have to find their present values. The present value of this I rupees is I upon 1.25. For this I is I upon 1.25 squared. And for this I is I upon 1.25 cube. And all the present values, they should add up to the loan today. Because he has paid 1200 rupees out of 50,000 today itself, so he's yet to pay 48,800. By solving this, I'll get the installment that is to be paid by Sanjeev. Now here, to make the question a bit easy, you can write 1.25 as 5 by 4. I mean, if you take these fractions, so probably the question can be made easy. So this is completely up to you whether you want to use it or not. But just taking the fractions sometimes make the job easy for us. So let's take the LCM of all these numbers. So currently I'm not taking fractions because probably you would not have solved by that method. So it is 1.25 cube. So in the numerator, I have 1.25 square into I plus 1.25 into I plus I is equal to 48800. Okay. So let's add them now. I would be common from the numerators. Inside you have 1.25 square. What is the square of 1.25? It was 1.5625 plus 1.25 plus 1. This is equal to 1.25 cube. So here the problem occurs. Therefore, I probably said that we should be taking 5 by 4. That will make our job easy. So if I write 1.25 cube here, so what will be 1.25 cube? So it will be 1.5625 into 1.25. Let's keep it like this, into 48800. All right. So from here we get I is equal to 1.5625 into 1.25 into 48800 divided by, let's add all of them. It gives me 3 plus 0.5625 and 0.25. That probably gives me 0.8125. So we can solve this by using some calculator or something, and this can give us the final answer. I mean, by 25 you can cancel out these numbers as well. Let's take out the decimal first from here. If I take out the decimal now, so now 25 can cancel out this as 125, right? So 125 and 125 can cancel out. This also can be cancelled out by 125. So 125 3s are 375, and then 6 is there, which is 0, and 125 5s are, that is 625. By another 5 you can cancel them out. 5 6 are 30, 5 1s are 5, and then 5 into 25 is 125. You will see that this is completely divisible by 61. 61 into 8, right? And therefore only 1200 was chosen. So ultimately my installment becomes, I'm writing it on the left hand side, it is 1.25 into 25 into 800. So 25 into 800 will be equal to 20,000, and 20,000 into 1.25. So I think 25,000 rupees comes out to be the annual installment. I hope you have understood this part now. So now I'll also show it to you just by taking fractions, that how could we have made our job easy by taking fractions in this case. So this will give you a good idea about the calculations. Here itself 1.25, if I written it as 5 by 4, so it will become 4 by 5 times of I. This will become 4 by 5 squared times of I, and this will become 4 by 5 cube times of I. This is equal to 48800. By taking 4 by 5 common and I common, so 4 by 5 into I, this gives me 1 plus 4 by 5 plus 16 by 25 is 48800, right? Or I is equal to 48800. This 4 by 5 will go on the other side, will become 5 by 4. And this whole thing, when you take the LCM as 25, this will give me 25 plus 20, that is 45, plus 16, that is 61 by 25. So on the other side will be 25 by 61. See, the job becomes easy now. So 61 can cancel out this as 800, 4 can cancel out this at 200, and 25 fives are 125 into 2 will straight away give me the answer as 25,000, and that is the installment that we are talking about. So in installment, generally you will find that the calculations would become a bit lengthy. So normally exams would not be asking you very lengthy questions which are based upon installments. They'll be asking you simple questions. So the previous question that I took, that was actually from ZET exam itself. So you can see that how much calculation was involved in that. I hope you have understood the concept. Okay, everyone. So that's all about this session. Thank you very much.